Hi, this is Jenny with the SLC, and today I'm going to show you how to make a video collage in Adobe Premiere Pro. First thing you want to do is open Premiere Pro, create a new project. I'm going to get hit with this screen, so I'm going to do video collage tutorial. And I'm going to put it in my documents is fine. Now on my desktop, I've already created a folder with all my collage assets in it. It has all my videos, all my sounds, and everything like that. And I would highly recommend that you do this because Premiere Pro remembers the file destinations. And if you download something and then you decide to organize it somewhere else on your computer later, Premiere Pro will indicate that there's an error with your file's missing, or your file cannot be found. And this is a very common thing that happens when when students start using this program for the first time. So always download your files, organize them first where you want them, where they'll stay, and then bring them in, import them from there. And then once you do that, you can go ahead and select everything and then hit create. And this says Pexels Video, just a side note here. So you can download royalty-free videos and images on Pexels.com and also Pixabay. And then there's also an audio library that you can go on YouTube Studio. And there's music and sound effects, and they're also royalty-free. And then Pixabay here, you can do images, videos, sound effects as well. And then this video is not going to cover everything about the basics, just workspace inside Premiere Pro. So if you want to explore that, you can go on help.adobe.com and then select Premiere Pro. And Adobe has this for every single software program within the Adobe Creative Cloud Suite. So you can actually go in here and work through creating projects, workspace, editing, everything. And they actually have tutorials that you could go through, and you can download the files that they provide and work alongside someone. And this is all provided through your Adobe Cloud subscription. So, back into Premiere Pro. I've worked on this off of this video, so this down here exists. So I'm just going to delete it really fast. All right. So when you open this, it may not look like this. If you go up to the top, there's this button, Workspaces. It's like a rectangle with a blue dot. And if you click it, right now I have mine on Essentials, which is like short for Essential Graphics. But sometimes it'll open it up and it'll look like this, and that's all panels. And basically you have down here your project files, your composition panel. Up here is like your preview window, and then over here like effects controls. There's just a lot going on for me, so what I like to do is just put it to Essentials, and that brings all of your project files up here, your effects window here, and then it lengthens the composition timeline here, and then here is your toolbar. So you have like your selection tool, razor tool, pen, hand type tool. For this video, we're just going to be using the selection, razor, and type tool. And then preview window, so you can actually just double click these and you can preview them in here. And then up here, we have the effect controls. We have Essential Graphics, Essential Sound, and Essential Graphics are where you can grab the pre-made templates for beginning and end credits, which is helpful for the collage. Essential sound. Under browse, there are free assets, free music that come with it. All these things, you can just grab them and pull them in. And then if you can't see effect controls, you can just click this double arrow here and go back to the beginning, because we're gonna need that. And then alternatively, so we imported our files from here, but you can also just click in this area right here and it'll open up. So say you want to add something and you don't want to go back to like import, you can just double click and then add it. And then also sometimes you can't see this little trash can, and you can actually move this if you want to view. You can do that to every single one. So say you want this preview panel to be bigger, you can do that. And actually, I want to make this smaller. There we go. That's good. And then, so if you can even organize this further. So this is list view, icon view, freeform view. I like the list view. You can expand this a little bit. And you can actually add a folder. And so say I just want to do like videos. Then I can just select these, just hold down the shift key, and I can just pull those in there. And that will organize everything. And then I can add another one to do audio. And then I can save that. File, save. Just make sure you're saving. Also Control S. And I'm on a Windows, but so certain hotkeys will be different on a Mac. And they're always going to be listed there when you open that up. So to get started, I'm going to pull some video clips in here. Let's see here. So this one is the shark one. Swan. I want to start out with the turtle. So I'm just going to pull this in here, and I'm going to keep the existing settings. Now, this V1, V2, V3, this is video, and we can think of these like layers. So this is audio 1, audio 2, audio 3. This is the lock key, just like you see in Illustrator and Photoshop. This is a mute track key, which is helpful. This right here, you can kind of scrub over and preview your video and sound. And then up here in the playback, the preview screen, can't talk today. So we've got like play, and then this is step back 1 frame, step forward, and this is go into or go out, and this will take you to the beginning or the end. And alternatively, you could just hit the home key and it'll do the same thing. And then pull this forward, and then down here, this really cool bar will allow you to explore your composition. So as you're building, if you have a lot of tracks and you want to be able to see them all, to go back to the beginning and the end, you can lengthen this and it'll shorten everything. But if you're adding effects and you need to like clip and do all these things, you can actually lengthen it. And that way you can pay attention to what's going on in between your clips. I'm going to do kind of like in the medium part here. And then if you can also, so this is together because it has audio, but if you want to lock it, you can actually move that and separate it. Alternatively, you can click on it. I'm going to click on that, and I'm actually going to delete it so I can add a different audio. And then if you right click on this, there's the speed duration. And right now it's just functioning at 100%. You can hover over and you can make it go slower. You can make it speed up. So say I clicked on this and I don't know, say I want to do I want to go all the way to 200. So down here, you can see the length of it. When I hit OK, it's going to shorten it in half. Also, you can do reverse speed where it'll play it backwards, which is really cool. And then that's really helpful for video. Sometimes when you pull in an image, you know, it'll be like 5 seconds long or something like that. You can just hover over the end of it and then just like pull it in and change the duration. With videos, you can hit Control-Z to undo that. With videos, you gotta be careful because sometimes it'll like crop out different aspects of the videos. I don't like to do that. I just like to change the duration of it. If you want to, or if I want to crop it, I'll use the razor tool. So say for example, you know, I didn't change the duration. I just put it back to where it was, but I only wanted it to go here. I can use that razor tool and just clip it, and then it becomes 2 clips. And then you use the selection tool, so just hit V, and then you know it's highlighted by the white outline, and then you can just hit the delete key. Now, if I want to fade in, I can go to Effects here, and if you don't see it, again, you can click this little arrow, double arrow, and then Video Transitions. And I'm going to do Cross Dissolve, and I'm just going to pull it in. You can't really see it, but again, if you bring this in and lengthen it out, also if you click it and hover over it, you can click it once, it'll change. You can do this and manually change the duration, or you can hover over it and pull it out. So if I go back to the beginning and I play it, that adds a really nice transition. And then say about right there, I want to clip it, and then I'm gonna add another video. So I'm going to go back to my files, and I want to add the coral, this one. So I'm going to click that in, and again, that comes with audio. So as you're previewing your video, if you don't want to listen to the audio, you can just do mute track, because it'll sound like this. And that's kind of annoying, so you can just do mute. Unless, of course, your audio is important. And you need to like cut it right when it says, you know, certain things. So I'm actually going to lock this, and I'm going to get rid of my audio. And I only want this to be, you know, it's too long. I'm going to cut it maybe here. And then again, you know, I want to transition into another video. So I'm going to, and I'm going to pull this one in. And then again, same thing. Lock that, delete that. Come in with the razor here. Take this cross dissolve, copy it, pull it back here, paste it, and then go back to my effects, dip to black, put that in there. All right, and now we're good. Cool. All right, and then let's save it. So if you want to add more dynamic layers to this and sort of have things overlapping instead of just fading in, you can always put something in and two and then use blend mode. So for example, if I want to do, let's see here. So say I want to utilize this track and I want to put it over. Now that's going to obscure everything underneath it because it works like layers, like in Photoshop and Illustrator. And this is the opacity is at 100%. So when I click on it, under the effect controls up here, oh, I'm going to make this bigger so you can see it. There we go. Sorry, my mouse. All right. Now, under opacity here, it's at 100%. So I can actually hover over it. You've got those little arrows there, and I can actually go down a little bit. So you can like fade here and have that kind of in the background. I mean, that doesn't really do that much for it. I would say something contrasting would work better. Perhaps bubbles or even fire maybe. But even so, that's how you would do that. And again, you can use the razor tool and cut different parts out. So like if you wanted to fade it over time, where it comes in, goes out, comes in, goes out. And then again, you can use different dissolve transition tools or whatever you want here at the beginning and the end to fade it additionally. You can also use tracking, but we're not going to do that with this video because that's a little bit more advanced. And so, you can do 100%, and let's see, multiply. Gotta make it super dark. Or screen. It's like in the background. Doesn't really do much, but you get the idea. All right, so I'm actually going to take that off because I don't like the effect it's giving. And I'm going to add audio. Oh, I did want to mention one thing. So say, you have a video and it's a different size. If you go into your effect controls under motion, you can hover over and you can change the scale of this to fit your screen. So sometimes you have videos where you've got the top line and the bottom line. So you can just adjust this. And then this is the X and Y axis. So you can like move it to the left or right. Up, and then this is up and down. And so that's really helpful if you have videos that are different sizes. All right, so now we're going to add our audio. So I've got this, and it goes past where I want it to go, so I'm going to use my razor tool. And I'm going to cut it. And I'm going to click that and hit delete. And then this softly goes into here, but so let's test it out. Oh, we have to hit unmute. Yeah, so this specific track has a very soft beginning, so I'm actually going to razor that and get rid of it. And then you can actually just pull this back out and it'll remember the track. So I need to go back, which is really nice. So that actually worked really nicely. If for some reason you have a track that is very loud, you can always go again to the effect controls. If you can't find it, click up here in the double arrow, and then there is an audio and it'll say volume, and you can hover over this, and oftentimes like a negative 7 or 10 works really well. So if you have something that's really crazy loud, I would try -7 or 10 and then replay it and see how that goes. This one wasn't too bad, so I'm just going to set it back to 0. Or actually, maybe since I want other effects, maybe like -3, -2.9. And then if I wanted to come in very softly, I can go into my effect controls up here and go into audio transitions and then crossfade and then exponential fade and it kind of fades in the end in the beginning. So I'm just going to actually add it to the end here. And I'm going to lengthen this just a tiny bit, just so that it fades out. And so it's just going to like it's just going to get softer at the end. Excuse me, let's see how it sounds. All right, I'm going to go back over to here. Let's see here. All right, so I actually want this to go softer here, and I'm going to dip this about the same time. Let's see here. All right, so that works pretty well. And then adding your title screen. So you can go over here to Essential Graphics and then browse, and you can do title. And there are all these options here. If you click on this and make this bigger, you can kind of explore a little bit more. And then there's this little vertical sidebar. I kind of like this one. So if I want to put this at the beginning, I need to kind of make space. So you can actually click and drag over, and it'll highlight everything that's in this rectangle. Same thing in Illustrator. And you can just click that and pull down. Come on, there we go. And then if I go back over here and I bring this in, I can bring that in. And then, and you can either directly click in here, and when you click in here, you can do text, the different effects presets that are already there, the text, that you can adjust the alignment and placement of where it sits inside the video frame. And there's a vertical sidebar here, but I'm just using my mouse. And then you can change what type of font you use, if it, what weight of font, the alignment, paragraph alignment, the color. So when you're in Essential Graphics and you just click on it but not double clicking, you'll see roll. And that will actually make it roll upwards if you play it from the beginning, which is helpful for the credits, not necessarily the beginning of that. So, and you can change the duration of it and all sorts of things, which is really helpful. But you can click there, or you can actually click inside of here, and you have to kind of move it a little bit to see the text. And you can just do, I don't know, I'm just going to put underwater. It's one word. All right. And then you can put your name, whatever you want. And then it fades out. So then I want to bring everything back. I can just do this and pull it back. All right. Alternatively, so say you are here and you want to move this over, you can do that. So currently this doesn't have a background, so it's just the background without anything is black. So if you want it to be in front, you can do that as well, which actually I think looks nicer. So I'm gonna do that and then bring this all up here and then go to the beginning. All right, and then I'm gonna add an end screen. So I'm gonna go back to browse and I'm gonna do credits. And just going to do classic credits. I'm just going to pull that in. And then it's going to fade in. And again, you know, if you click on it and you go down, you can do roll and it'll roll up. But you don't have to do roll if you don't want to. And then you can click in here and edit, or you can just like click there and, you know, the type tool will pop up. And you can adjust everything that you want. You know, RemCAD presents. And then you can adjust everything. And then let's see how it rolls. And then also, just in case I didn't say, right here is the text size. You just have to make sure it's selected. Alternatively, you can like select it here and then slide it. And then up here, sometimes when you're previewing, you know, you might not see in the preview screen, and that is because if this is yellow, it means it's still rendering. When it's green, it means it's totally fully rendered. And so sometimes that'll happen. You'll have many clips and you'll, you know, I'm going to mute this. You'll be scrubbing, like previewing down here, and, you know, you'll miss something and it'll just simply be because this is still rendering. So once you've completed everything, you want to make sure your track is unmuted. You want to make sure you save it, and then you can export it. And then I'm going to do a video collage. In my documents, it's okay. Match source, high bit rate is fine. H.264 is fine. I'm going to download it as a media file, but it does give you an option to automatically send it to YouTube, but I'm just going to do a media file and then upload it to YouTube later, which is helpful for students because, you know, your teacher may want your MP4 file. And then instead of sending it to the media encoder, I'm just going to export it and I'm going to replace it. But sometimes if you have a really long video, it's helpful to do that. But sometimes when you send it to the media encoder, it crashes. So I would, you know, you can try it out, but I like to just export it this way, and then it's already exported. And then I can go to my documents. I can go to recent files. I can check it. And there it is. It's beautiful. And then there you go. Now you're done. And all right, it's been a journey. Thanks so much. And I hope you have a wonderful day.